Today we're going to play a game of good news, bad news, good news, bad news. I think one more good news. Yes, that's right. There's 5 stories we're going to cover. And when I'm covering all those stories, to clean out the queue of just generally news, who should I bring on but Mark from the Tesla Life? He does a podcast each week with Casey and Patrick, who round out the news and tell you everything you've missed. And I've got stories going back a good week or so that haven't been big enough to cover all on their own. So I brought in an expert to help me get it through it. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Mark, who's better qualified to talk about the news than you?
Casey and Patrick, of course.
All right. Well, I'm going to go talk to them, and it was a pleasure having you on. So this story is a couple weeks old now, but it's just a gem. Tesla short sellers lost 5.5 billion smackaroo bobs over 4 days, according to S3 Partners. How does that happen? I've been assured that these are the smartest guys in the world. 5.5 billion.
I do not know how you could lose that amount over that short of a period. Stock is where you can lose a lot of money, depending on the day and which way the wind's blowing, and you can gain a lot too. So it's really a toss-up when it comes to the stock market in many different instances.
Well, I will point out that we knew that the delivery numbers were not as great as expected. The earnings came in within Wall Street expectations, maybe even a little lower. That was a perfect storm. Everybody was just, I know which way it's going. It's going down. It's going down. When people ask me to make stock predictions, I say, I expect good numbers and the stock to go down. If the numbers are okay, I expect the stock to probably go down. And if the numbers are bad, hold on to your butts. But sometimes I'm wrong. And the short sellers have discovered this. They thought they had a free money hack, an infinite money glitch where you just sell your Tesla before the earnings, buy it back the next trading day. And it didn't work this time. If you tried that, you lost 16% of your holdings. And if you shorted, when you're shorting a stock, you can lose infinity dollars if you don't cover in time.
Yeah.
And many Tesla longs, thank you for your commitment to donating money to Tesla shareholders. So that's certainly exciting. Any thoughts on that, or should we just go to the next one? Because that was the the good news. The next one is the bad news. Are you ready?
Let's see the bad news. We're ready.
Not excited here, but here we go. Read the wild email Tesla's sending to suppliers amid Supercharger chaos. This was a weird time, and we've already seen them starting to hire people back, but I'm concerned that the best talent is already gone. To all concerned, you may be aware that there's been a recent adjustment with the Supercharger organization, which is presently undergoing a sudden and thorough restructuring. Now, I don't know if this email's real. I don't know if they would have said sudden, but yeah, this may be challenging and that patience is not easy when expecting to be paid. However, I want to express my sincere appreciation for your understanding and support as we navigate through this transition. So, I don't know. It's additionally, hold on working on any new material orders. Yes, and contact this person with email concerns. If waiting on delayed payment, please contact this person for a status update. And thank you for your cooperation and patience.
Yeah, that would not be a pleasant letter to get, especially if you've got a number of balls that you're juggling for Tesla being a supplier. Certainly trying to make a call to your Tesla representative and realizing that the 5 Tesla representatives you have bounce back emails, not a good feeling. And then to get a letter like this, you're going to have some payment issues on current open projects.
Yes, if true, I would say this absolutely represents bad news. It's not exciting, but it may not be real. And the supercharging concerns may be allayed a bit by new information that some of the people are being rehired. It was not the best decision. I was very vocal about it at the time, saying this was a mistake. And a number of people went too far, I think, in criticizing me, saying, how dare you pretend you know better? And I'm not saying I know how to run the company, but I also don't know how to race a horse, but I can spot a sick horse from a mile away. And the fact that Elon has since started adding them back in lends credence to that conclusion that this may have been premature and a little deep.
Yes, rash might have been the problem of the day there.
Very unfortunate. And I did see some snarky clowns saying, well, I went to the Supercharger today and it worked just fine. Yes, you can also stop maintaining a bridge and it will continue standing for 10, 20 years. But when it comes time to actually do the maintenance, you'll find it costs far more to catch up than if you just did the work along the way. And
Yeah.
that's something municipalities can kind of deal with. So that we're at good news, bad news. It's time for good news again.
Okay.
You're
I'm
ready.
ready.
Okay, good. What falling sales? Global EV sales grow 19% in March.
There we go. All the doom and gloom about EVs dropping off a cliff in sales. World sales continue to
Yeah.
go up.
35% of global sales in March have some kind of electrification. The 1.1 million plugless hybrids is a new record. Not as excited about that. Year to date, plug-in electric sales were up 2% to 16%, and 10%. So 10% BEV, 6% plug-in. Guys, make all the hybrids plug-in. Make them all plug-in. Unless you're getting $5,000 per car from the oil companies, make them all plug-in. And if you are getting that kind of money, tell us. Here's the 20 best-selling EV models globally for March. Look at that. Tesla Model Y, number 1. Who would have thought?
This is shocking news, Brian.
Yes. And if you look at the BYD song, this little green here is the plug-in part, is the BEV part with the big part including hybrids. The Chin Plus, more BEV, a better percentage of battery versus the total. Model 3, the second best-selling EV in the world. And then we get to some real numbers here on the competition. The Seagull, which is actually a battery car, the Yuan Plus and Atto 3, and then some more. But the BYD Destroyer 05, that's a powerful name. So what do you make of this? I had it on good authority. Wow, the ID3 and 4 are not doing as strong as I had expected. I had it on good authority, Mark, that it was over.
The demise was greatly exaggerated, Brian,
Are
in the
you
media.
sure? Are you
Yep.
sure?
Yeah, it's interesting. Even with Ford recently had said about their European operations that they're not going to force EVs on people. That's just not going to happen. It's like, you know what? If you've got a car that's compelling, you can sell it. It's in an EV based on these numbers, you can sell it. But if you go back to that listing of the number of vehicles sold, look at the legacy automakers in that list. They don't even show up until you're below 12. You're below 13 is the first time VW shows up in that list.
And VW is the only one of legacy who shows up, and they only show up twice at 13 and 19.
Yeah,
That is not great.
that is not great for the other automakers out there because
yeah, but it'll get better. These companies are working at it. This is still on the good news section. Hey, while we're on good news, what do you imagine the BYD Destroyer 05 looks like?
I
Guess
have
what?
no idea.
Oh, get ready. This thing is savage. It is a beast.
Wow. Destroyer 05.
Wow, it looks like a Ford Taurus.
It really looks like the Destroyer 04 to me.
It looks like the Destroyer Beta .09, a compact sedan with no real frunk.
No, Frank.
No, because it's a hybrid. Unfortunate. Great. Well, fine. Not exciting, but I expected more from a car with that name. At least if you called it the Thanos, I wouldn't be surprised when it turns out to be half as good as I expected.
Oh my goodness. That would be great.
That would be hilarious.
Of course, they would get their butts sued off by Marvel, but
Yeah, well, yes.
the
So we've got
Thanos.
one more bad news before we get to good news. Yes, I think that's right.
The roller coaster continues.
Yeah, Tesla head of product launches, Rich Otto, leaves after nearly 7 years. This is the person who put on all the events, who made the events happen. He was in charge of Cyber Rodeo, the launch of the Cybertruck, the Plaid delivery event and Cybertruck first delivery event, among others, and played a part in some of Tesla's media projects. It sounds like he left on good terms, but, who knows?
Yeah, there's been a shakeup. This last year has been a shakeup for a lot of Tesla execs that have looked at what they're doing, look where the company is, what their history has been, and a number of them have decided that there's better opportunity for them elsewhere.
If you've got this kind of thing on your resume, you can make your own fortune. You can do anything you want. You can start a company. You can go work for any company. It's exciting. Now, the good news on this side, I guess, the silver lining, if you will, is that as good as he was at his job, somehow I didn't get an invitation to any of these events. So when his announcement came, I said to the president of the Washington Club, wow, that changes my odds of getting into an event not at all. If anything, it makes my odds better because someone will take over this role and maybe they want me there.
Maybe they look at their list of invites a lot differently, so you never know.
You never know. It's great. There's this financial guru on YouTube who made a video taking me down a peg, and it's hilarious because he has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea who I am, and it's obvious. He says maybe, he said first of all that I'm probably paid by Tesla.
Yeah.
Which
obviously doesn't know the first thing about the Futuraza site.
Obviously paid. I can assure you all, I am not. And and they're just fanboys who never say anything negative. That's not me. That's not me, my friend, because I am comfortable saying negative things when they're true. And also that, well, if I'm not paid and I'm, then definitely I have, I'm probably paid with access to free products and invites to events.
Yeah, wrong on both accounts again.
Wrong on every part of it. And, well, does he have a financial interest he's not disclosing? No, it's in my bio and it's on my about page. So that's my shares. So not sure what to tell you there. So we will conclude on a high note, perhaps, if we feel like it. It is.
We want a high note, Brian. Give us a high note.
It is this guy. Expect a wave of wafer scale computers. Taiwan Semiconductor Tech allows for one version now and more advanced version in 2027. This is a story I am hoping to get a chance to cover with John Twigg. He has worked in software and technology for 30 years, and he had some big thoughts on this, but our presentation that we did earlier this week already ran into 3 segments, and that's generally about as far as I can go on things like that. But this is exciting. What do you know about this?
Well, this, of course, is Tesla working on Dojo that we've been told about in the past. It's something that they've been working on, building their own power chips to power their AI models and the build out of FSD, the prediction of how the software will work. Basically, being able to model the real world inside a computer and not have to have all those miles of real driving. You can simulate the world a lot easier, and these chips give you the power to simulate that particular task.
And what's neat about wafer scale, so the downside is when you manufacture chips on the large wafer, not all of them are going to be perfect. Some of them are going to be a little slower. Some of them are going to be unacceptable. If you're doing wafer scale, you need a wafer where all of them work to a minimum acceptable level. But as such, basically what you're making is one giant chip instead of a bunch of little chips that all go together. And this appears to be scalable in that way, where if you test the wafer and they don't all work, great, chop it up and use the parts that do work. Maybe the next one will be perfect enough to use. So it's very, very exciting. I will do my best to understand it, but maybe not today because I'm running out of brain space. So that's, I guess, the final bit of bad news is I'm overtaxed in my head. Anything else exciting that I should be mentioning?
Don't let the IRS know that you've been
That I'm
overtaxed,
overtaxed?
because
Yeah.
they'll look into it.
Oh, oh, will they? Yeah, I think that's they look into everything all the time anyway. I'm not too concerned. If yeah, if my income gets to that level, I'll be more excited than concerned. So, Mark, I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Guys, if you get a chance, head on over to The Tesla Life, link in the description. They do a great weekly podcast about all things Tesla and beyond. There's other topics covered as well. Um, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And they actually interact with the chat. So you can, if you have questions, they can answer them. And especially if you have difficult questions, you've got 3 of them there who can all give you some consideration to those questions. So do that. Definitely do that. And if you need to tell them that I sent you, I mean, you can. They will appreciate that too. So yeah. What did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it in them comments below. Everybody else, like, subscribe, smack thumbs, do what you must. And for the love of all things holy, I beg you to stay tuned, stay juicy, and remember that I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots next time there's some news about Tesla, which kind of never happens.